What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2 and some first impressions of the Adept and an Adept giveaway. So before I get into all the goods and the shards and whatnot with the Adept, all you have to do to register to win in the giveaway is be subscribed to the channel and just leave me a comment below and let me know why you want the Adept. I'll be picking winners Saturday night at 8 p.m. Pacific time, so that's this Saturday, August 26th. At 8 p.m. Pacific, the winners will be notified directly off of this video and YouTube. Now, moving right along, the Adept brings one new defense, two new abilities, and offers up a nice, fun variety to the apprentice. Of course, the defense is the Hailstorm Tower. Replaces the Frostbite Tower, as you can already tell by just looking at it, and it is an air defense only, and it is just a beast. 40 DU, so it's 10 DU cheaper to the Skyguard Tower, and offers up some pretty seriously impressive air-only DPS that will handle all of your air defense needs without a doubt. Now, I mentioned there's also two different abilities. First off, the Arcane Volley has been replaced with Arc Lightning, and Arc Lightning is a lot of fun, but does take a little bit of getting used to. Once you get used to it, you are going to have just a lot of fun with it. The second is Mana Bomb. Now, although I had mixed emotions, as I love me some Mana Bomb, Arcane Bubble is definitely pretty beast. First off, when you throw the Arcane Bubble down, it is going to provide a Reflect Shield, just like the Geode, except it's going to reflect the baddies' projectiles back to them, plus any bads that enter it are going to get stunned, plus with some sharding, any baddies that enter it are going to take increased damage, plus more. If you enter it, you're going to get healed, and let me tell you, the heal is really, really good. It is not an option to go without the heal shard in your Arcane Bubble, in my opinion, as it is just super, super strong. Now, speaking of shards, let's go ahead and get into it. There's 10 new shards that are added into the game for the Adept. It is not going to be like the Initiate and the Monk, where they share shards. The Adept gets all her own stuff. And first off, we start off right at the top with Wither Shield. Arcane Bubble withers enemies inside it, increasing the damage they take by, I believe it's 15%. There it is right there. It's a chest shard. It drops in a Chaos 1 shard pack, and fully upgraded 15% additional damage to enemies inside. Just kind of an auto win. Very, very nice right there. Now, the next shard I wanted to talk about is Sanctuary. Sanctuary drops in Chaos 2, and this is what's going to provide the heal. Now, the important thing about this heal is it scales off of your hero health. So it's going to heal you for 15% of your hero health every second. It's just absolutely great. It is really hard to pass up. And if there's any shard that you're going to use for Arcane Bubble, I would suggest this being one of the first shards you put in, as it is just insanely good. Now, if you combine that with your number 4 and your natural heal inside of the Arcane Bubble, you can heal yourself from 0 to full within just a couple of seconds, and it is just crazy good powerful. Now, the third shard I want to talk about drops in the Chaos 2 shard pack as well, and that is Icefall. Icefall is going to make your Hailstorm Tower have a 5% chance on hit to freeze enemy for 2 seconds. Now, when you first look at it, you might think, wow, 5%? Is that thing really upgraded? Oh yeah, it's upgraded, but the thing you need to remember is look at the attack speed every 0.12 seconds. So it is just firing off the rounds, and this freeze is going to proc an awful lot, even just at the 5%. Now, the next shard drops in Chaos 3. It's called Thunderweave, and it is definitely a strong shard. It's going to go in your chest as well. It's from a Chaos 3 shard pack, of course. And Arc Lightning deals 1250% ability power as damage to all enemies around you. So that's 12.5 times your ability power stat to everything in your immediate area. So if you're going to Arc Lightning that defense over there, it's going to do its damage to all these guys over here. And it's free damage. so there's no reason at all not to use it, and definitely a very good shard. Now we're going to move on along to Arc Shielding. Arc Shielding places a shield on you, which you see the bubble around me. It lasts 20 seconds, and it's going to absorb damage, plus it's going to give you a reflect. When enemies hit you or hit the shield, they are going to be damaged for a percentage of your ability power. Now, Arc Shielding is going to go in the head, and once again, that is from Chaos 4. So 780% ability power of an absorb, plus 10 times your ability power as damage over the course of 3 seconds for anyone that hits you. Another kind of no-brainer shard to put in. The next one's going to be from Chaos 4 as well, and it is Marking Bubble. Now, Marking Bubble is going to go in your boots, and the Arcane Bubble will place a mark on all enemies in the initial spawn area and increases mark count by 6. Which means if you got a bunch of baddies, let's say this group right here, and we drop an Arcane Bubble, all those targets are going to be instantly marked. Then, of course, you can go ahead and zap them away with your lightning and wreck it up. Now, I do have a couple of complaints about this shard. First off, with the Arcane Volley on the Apprentice, you get several shots off on a marked target before the mark is gone. The Arc Lightning is instant, so you don't get this luxury. Now, I personally would like to see this shard so that it refreshes the mark every time it pulses. I think that would be absolutely awesome. Now, that might be a little bit on the OP side, so it would have to be balanced out a little bit. One thing about this shard, however, it goes in the boots, and we all know we need more boot shards. So even though I personally feel that this shard could use a little bit of work, it's a no-brainer. It's a boot shard, so throw it in there. We all need more shards for our boots, and Marking Bubble is going to fill one of those slots for you. Now, the next one up, Thunderbolts and Lightning. This was actually the shard I was most excited about, as I personally am a big fan of the Arc Lightning, and it brings back the old Chain Lightning days from WoW. It brings back those lovely little memories, and it's kind of a no-brainer as well. It's a straight-up increase to damage. Thunderbolts and Lightning increases the damage of Arc Lightning by 40%. What more can you say? Increases damage of Arc Lightning by 40%. Holy crap. Ridiculously good. So that one is also, to me, a no-brainer and has got to be in your weapon. Now, next up, we've got Explosive Finale. Explosive Finale is going to drop in Chaos 6, and it is going to cause 20 times your ability power in an explosion when the Arcane Bubble ends. So when your Arcane Bubble ends, this will explode, causing 20 times your ability power. I personally love the thought of this shard, however, it is a helmet shard. And another thing about helmet shards are they're going to give you the reduced cooldown and increased mana and mana regeneration. And it's really a tough choice as far as what to use in your head. Now, I personally think that the Arc Shielding is powerful enough where I choose to go with the shield over the explosion personally. However, you test them out, do what you like to do. I did take my Power of the Storms out of my helmet, which I was using for the Arc Shielding, but in my helm, I'm going with Inspiration, Arc Shielding, and Mana Capacitor, and I've been having a lot of fun and melting baddies like crazy using this combination. Now, moving on along, we've got Glacier. Every 10 attacks, Hailstorm Tower fires an icy boulder that explodes on impact, dealing 27.5 times your defense power as damage in a small area. Now, although this particular shard is really, really powerful, I personally cannot give up Deadly Strikes or Power Transfer. You're going to get more overall damage from having Power Transfer on a medallion on your Hailstorm Tower than you will get from this Glacier many times over, in fact. Now, same thing with range there. You almost cannot give up the range on this tower, as the range on it is good by default. However, with Deadly Strikes, it's a must-have in there. So Power Transfer and Deadly Strikes, to me, are must-haves in the Hailstorm Tower. And Icefall is what I have personally chosen as the third. Another one of my thoughts on Glacier is it seems like the projectile is actually, it travels through the air so slow that the mobs are usually dying before it gets to them. And I've seen it actually drop to the ground without doing any damage more times than I've seen it actually hit its target. So that's why I chose, personally, not to use Glacier. Glacier, of course, is going to drop in a Chaos 7 shard pack. And then moving right along to Withering Blast. Withering Blast is going to cause enemies to take 20% increased damage for 3 seconds whenever they are damaged by Arcane Barrier. This shard does not sound extremely powerful. However, it's extra damage, a 20% increased damage for 3 seconds. It's like a little mini Drago for 3 seconds after your Arcane Barrier pops. So I figured why not. So I personally, in my walls, I'm using Power Pylon, Withering Blast, and Fortification. Once again, why not use it? It's a little extra damage. It's not significant, but it's free damage coming from a wall, so it's kind of hard to complain about that. Now, overall, I decided to go with Ability Power Hero Crit, which it seemed like the natural for me. I do like spamming my Arc Lightning, and of course that's going to scale off of Ability Power, so that is what I am really looking forward to using the most. So I went Ability Power, Hero Crit, and Hero Health on every piece. I went with a 4 per second Penta 3. Well, all Penta 3s are 4 per second, but I found a Penta 3 that I like, and I went with that, and it's got the necessary stats on it, as Ability Power and Hero Crit were my primaries, and then being in Chaos 7, you just naturally want some Hero Health, so I've got Hero Health stacked on everything as well. Now, if you look through these shards, you're going to see Charged Shot, and you're going to think, WTF, what are you thinking, Juice? Charged Shot scales off of hero damage, not ability power, so why on earth are you using it? And it's pretty simple. I mentioned earlier about how the marks disappear really quick. So you spam your lightning and the mark is gone, so which means you have to re-spam more lightning to be able to mark again, or pardon me, to be able to zap again. Now, of course, the more targets that you can hit, the more benefit you're going to get out of your Arc Lightning. So you want as many targets as possible marked before you spam it so you can hit all of them. However, it's instantly gone. Now, I actually gave you guys some bad information on the live patch day stream, as it appeared to me that Charged Shot was not penetrating with a Penta. Now, with the Penta 3, Charged Shot is still penetrating the packs. If we look on the dummies here, all 5 dummies got marked, and that is why I'm using Charged Shot. So what Charged Shot allows me to do is basically spam my left click and spam my Arc Lightning at the same time, as targets are just constantly getting remarked. As the Charged Shot goes off, it's going to fill up everything in the pack. Now, of course, if you add Dragolich to the mix with that, you're going to see a seriously nice amount of DPS rolling out. I've seen numbers well over 10 million. There was an 11 million there. And you can definitely get the job done with Arc Lightning. And Charged Shot is just going to ease some of the pain on marking the additional targets. Now, in any Chaos tier prior to Chaos 7, if you go with marked targets and a Flamethrower, and you put that out there in the open somewhere where it's going to mark lots and lots of targets for you, then your amount of marked targets is not even remotely going to be an issue. However, in Chaos 7, a Flamethrower tower up front is going to get instantly wrecked by kobolds, and it makes it less viable. Now, in light of that, I still did choose to go with Empowered Mark as my 3rd shard in my weapon. So I personally am going with Charged Shot, Empowered Mark, and Thunderbolts and Lightning. My first impressions overall is I really do like the Adept. It's a lot of fun. You provide some amazing CC, some amazing healing, and I mean, who just doesn't want to chain lightning things? That is just really awesome. Now, any way that we can find to mark more targets is going to make me much happier as far as the Adept goes. However, one thing is for certain, and that is the Hailstorm Tower is going to become a normal part of the kit I use on a daily basis, as it is just really, really solid, effective air defense. So like I said, not really a full hero spotlight here, more of a first impression and a first look at the shards. Hopefully this helps everyone decide what they want to do with their Adept. This is what I'm doing with mine, and I'm having a blast with her and wrecking faces. So thank you very much. Click that like button and please subscribe to the channel. Like I mentioned, leave a comment below and you are entered to win. As Saturday night at 8 p.m. I'm going to be giving away those Adept codes. So thank you once again. I'll see you next time.